Heya, my name is Turk, and may I welcome you to my corner of the internet, where we explore subjects both interesting and dear to me. First things first is I did an outline, which I have here. This may be too verbose, but I'm kind of experimenting to see what works and what doesn't. So far, there's not really too much I can do about the noise in the background. I do apologize if there's dogs barking or anything else going on. I'm going to continue to tweak those things, but I'm just trying not to worry about it too much and focus more on actually making content and getting it out there. If it ends up being too much of an issue, I'll consider finding other creative locations to film. It's getting pretty chilly out, but filming outdoors ought to be fun, or even in my car if I have to. Going forward, I'm going to stick with little to no editing for the time being. That may change when I actually get into it, and I may find that I just have no choice if I have to like reshoot something due to very loud distractions or anything like that. But for the time being, I'm intending on not really editing all that much. It can be a time-consuming process, and my computer isn't that great, so that can complicate it more. And I haven't really done a lot of it in my past. Right. So I just want to get right into what this episode's about, which is talking about the purpose of this channel, and the things that I would like to talk about in the future. What sort of content you folks might look forward to. Right. So the topics I plan on covering are things about autism, spirituality, science, creative projects, video games, and media in general. And that's sort of a list, sort of rated on most interests to me right now, to least. But that may change over time, and I'm not honestly sure what I will get to with each subject. I do enjoy video games, and I wouldn't mind streaming them someday, or at least recording videos about them. But I honestly don't know how much of that I'm going to get to right now. It might just be something I do on the side, or continue to enjoy personally. I did consider splitting these up into different channels. I'm not planning on doing that at the time being. I feel like that's going to be a lot of work to manage different channels, and I'm not really familiar with how best to split up content like that. I'm expecting that it's going to turn into a focus of just a couple things in any case, but for the time being, I want to leave myself free to explore different subjects to find out what works for me and what I find most interesting, and hopefully what you viewers find most interesting. Right. So I also debated for a while about separating any sort of like spirituality talk from subjects like autism. I know that's something that can be a turnoff for people, and I don't want to alienate anyone or make anyone uncomfortable by joining those two subjects. But for me right now, where I'm at in my life, they are kind of interconnected, and they're only going to be joined in the sense that like I'll talk about certain psychological aspects or thoughts that I have on the subject, but I may tie them in with a spiritual perspective. It's not necessary to the conversation in that I think that there'll still be plenty to talk about if that's not your thing. It will be there for your consideration, but more often than not, it might just be the why of a certain thing. But I'll have plenty more to say that isn't centered in spirituality. I don't see the need to separate them right now, because where I am right now is exploring more of my spiritual side at this point in my life, and I feel like I've made a lot of progress in understanding myself and the world around me through that side of things. I grew up for most of my life with a far more scientific perspective on things, and having kind of now lived in both worlds, I myself am trying to find like the balance between the two, and that's another big theme of what I want to talk about, is finding kind of more of a meeting point of spirituality and science. Um, I I feel like that there are polarized people very much on one side or the other, um, and I'm just trying to look more for the bridge in between the two. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video that I'll dive more into probably very soon. Yeah, so those are the subjects that I plan on talking about. I have some plans for the future of this as well. I'm very interested. I mean, I enjoy illustration, drawing, and the like, and I've really been wanting to get into animation. There are some really cool animated and illustrated YouTube channels out there, and I really love their content. That's something that I would be interested in producing myself. I know those are a lot of work, and frankly, I have very little animation experience. So that's something that's going to take some time to work on, and I will actually be working on that in the background. But I didn't want that to be a barrier for me to start this sort of thing. I felt like kind of the need and want to start this now. So that's going to be on the side, and that will come out when and if ever it does. I know they're a lot of work. Usually they have teams working on that sort of thing. But that'll be for the future. Yeah, other than that, as a bonus, I do plan on offering free online tarot reading and pick-a-card videos. Those will probably be another channel, just because I don't want those to flood this channel, because I may end up uploading a lot of those. I may talk a little bit about them, especially in connection with spirituality and other things. But yeah, that'll be a linked channel at some point when I do end up getting that rolling. Right. I think an outline definitely helps, but I'm going to continue tweaking things and trying different things out. For now, that's all I have. So thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next video. Bye.